Hey, welcome to my Pisces Priestess channel, everybody. Welcome to October. It is October. And for this month, I definitely wanted to. Holy crap, the wind is blowing strong out there. I'm looking out the window, but yeah. I wanted to do an intro video this month, guys, because it's a really intense month. October is this is just a very, very transformative time of year. And I thought it would be easiest just to kind of speak to everybody. So, hello, everybody, all the signs. How are you guys doing? So, yeah, I got some notes here about October. And also, we're going to do, I moved. I didn't mention that yet, but I have moved. Lots have been changing for me, very intense energies. So, I want to apologize for getting these videos out late. I'm not really sure when I'll get them uploaded because I don't have any Wi-Fi still. But I have a very peaceful environment and nice environment to record in. And that helps me, it helps my intuition and my spirituality a lot. So, yeah. There's a lot of intense energies in the beginning of October for me. We had that full moon a couple of days ago on the 5th, and I'm not really sure when these will get uploaded, but that's why the videos are so late, because I am very sensitive to stuff like that. It's just been, October it's almost like I woke up in a new life, just to be honest. But I still love tarot and I still love astrology, so this is what I want to do. I'm getting my office all set up. This is my little spiritual room. I have my zodiac wheel over here, but it's a mess. I guess I can show you guys, but I'm going to be doing some recording by that. So we definitely have all of the zodiac energy present with us right now, and I've got all my little things, so that just makes me more comfortable. And yeah, guys, so we're going to do it a little bit different this month. That's why I'm just going to record an intro video so that everybody can see. Because sometimes I say certain things for certain signs and then I forget to say it for other ones. So yeah, we're going to record an intro video. I've never done it like that. And we have a different kind of reading coming for October as well, guys. So first, let's just go over a little bit of, and I will mention this in certain videos, but October. Okay, October 2017. I've written down some of the major aspects I think that are happening. And we have that Aries full moon on October 5th. That was a very powerful moon. It was a couple days ago. I live in Michigan, so it was very cloudy here and I couldn't see the full moon. Some of my friends who were in other parts of Michigan, they saw it and the pictures were amazing. I had a Sagittarius hit me up and say that the moon was so big in the morning. Not even surprised, because Aries is our first zodiac sign. They're the first house of self. So I, as an astrologer and as someone who's spiritual, have been waiting for this Aries moon for so long. We only get an Aries full moon once every Libra season, so once every year. Very, very powerful. Anytime anything travels through Aries, Pisces is the sign right before Aries, kind of, because we're the 12th house, so we're last, and then Aries is first. So Aries and Pisces kind of chill together on the zodiac wheel, and we have a special bond as last and first. It's kind of a completion that happens. So when things pass through Pisces and they complete, and they pass through Aries, it's brand new, okay? And the moon travels around the zodiac wheel all the time, but it was full in Aries now. So full moons mean completions and new beginnings, and Aries means completions and new beginnings. So this moon was so powerful, and it definitely has set some energies in place of transformation. It's just amazing. So we did have that, of course, on the 5th for Aries. And we all have Aries in our chart somewhere. Oh, also on the 5th, we had Venus and Mars couple in the sky together, which is the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And I hadn't always known about that, but as an astrologer, a very, very novice astrologer right now, but every day I'm, following the planets and checking birth charts, things like that. And I'm learning more and more about these planets and what they mean to us, as humans on this earth. So Venus and Mars, masculine, they're the divine lovers, the cosmic soulmates, and they were coupled together. They only do that every 2 years, and every 32 years they repeat exactly. So 32 years ago, I think it was it was the same day. It was October 6th, 1985, I want to say. Venus and Mars were coupled together, and they were coupled together in Virgo. So very, very beautiful energy for October 5th. A lot of completions and new beginnings. On the 19th, we have a Libra new moon. Okay, so it's gonna be different for all of us, but new moons are when the moon is invisible in the sky. So this is, some hidden secrets coming out, and it depends on where Libra is in your own chart. But we do have that new moon. I hear that it's going to be, kind of bizarre a little bit, but it should be okay. Just something to look out for on the 19th. This is when the sun and the moon are in the sky together. That's why we can't see it, because the sun and the moon are in the same, they're going to both be in Libra. And then we have Jupiter moving into Scorpio on the 10th. Okay, I'm excited about this. Jupiter is my traditional ruler. Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius. So, as a Sag or a Pisces, and actually everyone, you really want to look out for this, because Jupiter moving signs is something that is it's like a hot topic in astrology right now. And that's happening on the 10th. It's going into Scorpio. Like, whoa, everyone, this is the planet of higher philosophy, higher thinking. It rules the ninth house. So your beliefs and things like that. So we want to be focusing on these things around the 10th. This is so awesome, guys, for Jupiter to be moving into Scorpio. And then on the 14th, we have Venus entering Libra, which is so cool because Venus rules Libra. Libra rules our relationships. It's the seventh house of partnerships and, not just romantic, but friendships and all of that. So Venus is going to come there, the goddess of love. And she's very, very at home with the scales of justice, Libra. So definitely something to look forward to on the 14th. And then we have Mercury moving into Scorpio on the 17th. I definitely want to take note of that. It all depends on where Scorpio is. On the zodiac wheel, we all can tell where the houses are, but we also have our own birth charts. I'm not sure if many of you who watch my videos also have your own birth charts. So for me, as an example, I have a midheaven Scorpio and my north node is Scorpio. So Mercury moving into that is, Scorpio is my sister sign. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, they're all water signs. So yeah, definitely really, important for all of us. You'd have to know your own birth chart, but these are the energies going on in the universe. Definitely some shifts going on, guys. And then, of course, the sun enters Scorpio on the 23rd. We're going to have Scorpio season, which I feel like is so awesome because, Halloween falls into Scorpio. I mean, it's in Scorpio season every year. And Scorpio's, mysterious and more so about the hidden emotions that we have and kind of the intimate secrets. And Halloween is mysterious like that too. So yeah, speaking of Halloween, on the 31st, we have Halloween. So those are the notes that I wrote down for October. I wanted to make sure everyone heard those, so I wanted to do this as an intro video. This whole video will be in the beginning of all the other videos, and I didn't want to make it over 10 minutes. So it looks like we have, some time to talk about the actual reading that we're going to do this month, okay? I'm going to be a little bit different, guys, and I'm going to be trying some new camera angles out, so let me know, now that I have this new apartment and everything like that. The lighting is different. There's just certain energies, I'm trying to feel it out. So this is my first, as November and December and all that and the new year, I'll probably gradually find my way and where I want to record at and stuff like that. But, I'm just going to mess around with it for October and see what's going on. But I am going to be using the Wisdom of the House of Night. This is my, kind of most mysterious deck. And I find that tarot readers are kind of diving into the kind of darker, mysterious reading. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to use my Wisdom of the House of Night. And then, so we're going to do that for the main reading. And then we're going to pull some clarifiers with regular, this is the Page of Cups if you're curious. But yeah, we're going to just use my regular tarot. I miss my regular tarot. I actually, during the move, I was without them for about a week. And man, that was weird, guys. I'm really happy to have all my cards back and everything like that. So the reading, a lot of you may be familiar with Celtic cross reading. I have a reading that I kind of designed myself, and I promise you, it was when I first got my deck back in April. I kind of sat down and I just kind of designed my own reading, and little did I know this was actually a reading. Like, this is kind of something that makes me believe that I'm meant to read tarot, because I actually, it's very similar to the Celtic cross, but I just call it a cross-examination reading. So basically, I love these readings, you guys, because we have a core situation that Spirit is able to hone in on. So it's a 6-card reading. Oh, and I have my little angel shirt on, just in case you didn't know or see what that was, because it's Libra season, archangels and stuff. And I say that because I want to do this cross because I'm not religious at all, But, crosses are often related to angel protection and things like that. So I wanted to do this cross examination. It very much looks like a cross. It's a 6 card placement reading. So, and I'm going to explain this more as I do your reading. But the middle card is the core is situation, and Spirit can choose any situation to talk to you about. I will know the reading when I see that card. I'll know that this is the core situation Spirit wanted to choose. Then, like anything in astrology, there's a south node and a north node. So I place a card right underneath the core situation because that is where you're coming from. That is the south node of what you're letting go of, okay? And then we have the north node where you're going to, where you should aim for, where you're going. And then the two, this is what's different. The Celtic cross, I believe the two on the side have different meanings, but for me as a reader, I like to hold these placements for what Spirit has on your side because it's your foundation. That's what I kind of figured out yesterday that it kind of means for me is these 2 cards that make up the cross. It would be the foundation and what Spirit has on your side, what's protecting you, your protected foundation. And I'll explain more of that in the individual readings. And then the 6th card is overall guidance. And then of course we have the underlying energy, which is the bottom of the deck for you guys. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit different this month. I've never done cross-examination readings, and I'm going to try to do a different kind of, I'm recording on a laptop, so it's going to be kind of interesting to get it at an angle where you guys can see the placements. I think it's very important for you guys to be able to see where the cards lie, but I'm going to explain them and try to show them to the camera as best as I can. But all right, I'm really ready to get your guys' reading started. I had this whole day to record and kind of be creative and tap into Spirit. My intuition is recharged. I feel good. So I'm very ready. I hope you guys are ready too. This is your October reading. So let's get started with it, guys, and we'll see what comes up. Hello, Aries. Of course, first up, first zodiac sign. How are you guys doing? I have your cards here. I shuffled them before. And I just want to apologize for any noise you might hear. I do live in an apartment complex, so you might hear like some noise. It's really me that needs to try not to get distracted. But so Aries, it's Libra season. This is your opposite sign. You had a full moon a couple days ago on the 5th. I'm sure that was intense for you and life-changing, and I'm sure you'll feel the energies of that. So yeah, definitely Libra season, and I just wanted to talk to you guys real quick about that. I know last season when it was Virgo season, actually every year in Virgo season it can be pretty tough for me because I feel like the sun is the farthest away from me. It's directly opposite of my natural sun in Pisces, so it can be a little bit challenging. You could feel a little bit cold or alone, lonely. So if there are any Aries out there that watch my videos that happen to be feeling this way, it's just something to think about. The sun being the opposite of you, it's kind of like, but don't worry because as the sun moves to Scorpio, it's getting closer and closer to you because it'll go to Scorpio, then Sag, and then Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, and then it'll be Aries season, and it'll be the astrological new year. So if you are feeling like that, just know it's an opposition. The sun's directly opposite of you, kind of shining towards you, but maybe not reaching you. So yeah, I'm not sure if any of you feel that way, but I feel that way all the time in Virgo season. And of course, the sun is going to enter Scorpio on the 23rd of October, which is a different energy for you. But we do have a lot of energy entering Libra, which is your 7th house, Aries. So I want to mention that real quick. There's going to be a new moon on the 19th in Libra. So that means there's going to be a new moon in your 7th house of partnerships and relationships. So on the 19th, don't be surprised if there's any new partnerships, friendships, or love interests that kind of spark up or initiate around this time. And then we have Venus entering Libra, your 7th house, on the 14th. So mark that day on your calendar for any special, and it doesn't have to happen on that day, but this can be the starting line of all this energy. And that's really the 7th house energy I wanted to talk to you about. And then of course we have Halloween. So yeah, my favorite holiday. We are going to use the Wisdom of the House of Night deck. And I find, see that glare there? There's a window and it's very bright. I've tried to close the blinds, but these cards actually don't, you can see them pretty well on the table. We're going to pull some clarifiers with regular tarot. And those are Oh, I thought that was the Aries card. I was gonna be like, oh my god, it's the Taurus card though. These kind of glare a little bit. So I'm gonna shuffle, even though I did before your reading, and we're gonna do the cross-examination reading. Just a reminder. So this is for Aries. I've seen the fulfillment card come out. Oh wow, it just came out. You see that? I'm not sure if you can read it, but I had a feeling, Aries. So we have that as your core situation. And I love these readings because spirit could actually, whereas other readings that I do, it can go either way. Like there's several messages trying to be spoken, but this is what spirit has chosen to talk to you about. It's fulfillment, Aries. So that is going to be the title of your video, somewhere in there. Okay, let's get a South Node situation for this core situation, Spirit. What is the South Node of this fulfillment situation with Aries this month in October? Looking for one card to place as the South Node. And we have to be patient, guys. These cards are very new and they're big. And I mean, I'm just very, very patient about cards coming out with Spirit. So, I just shuffle and just go with my intuition. But yeah, the card is going to come out. And we're going to get one that is best relatable to this situation. So we're going to place a South Node here. Okay, so we have chaos. Chaos. There's a picture of a tornado here, and we're going to go over your reading. Hopefully you can see, guys. I'm really sorry about the glare. It's just very bright, which is usually not a bad thing. But I'm just glad you can see them on the table. I guess we can move it a little bit so you can... So, now we're going to get a North Node. And this is where you're going, Aries. This is the energy you're being led to. This is the energy you're coming from. So you're coming from a place of chaos, I see. Possibly chaos of not being fulfilled, possibly. But we'll see what Spirit has to say. Okay, that was a few cards. We had letting go, and we had a message, and we have forbidden. Okay, but that's 3 cards. We're going to give Spirit a chance to just have a solid card here, but those messages were important too, Aries. Whatever that might mean to some of you. Ooh. The High Priestess of Fire. Wow. Definitely an Aries card here. High Priestess of Fire. That's very, very beautiful. Okay, so now, Spirit, I just need 2 cards to place on each side of this situation to symbolize what is protecting Aries at this time, to symbolize what is their foundation and what is on their side. Spirit always protects both sides. It never leaves a side vulnerable. So that's what this reading means to me. Differences. Okay, we had differences and risk. And now we're going to have an overall, because this is 5 cards. It's a 6-card spread. And we're going to place one here for overall guidance. What is Aries' overall guidance for October? Conclusion. Interesting. Bottom of the deck is High Priestess of Spirit. Very beautiful. You have the High Priestess of Fire and the High Priestess of Spirit. Top of the deck is a reminder. Don't forget, it says. I'm not sure if you can see that. Very beautiful. Okay, Aries, let's take a look real quick, and then we're going to pull some clarifiers, all right? So the core situation here in October for you guys is fulfillment. So what my intuition is telling me already is that Aries is definitely thinking a lot about fulfillment, about feeling full. We have this cup here of wine, if that means anything to you. It looks really good to me. I like red wine. But yeah, it's very full. This is like the Ace of Cups almost in regular tarot. That's what I'm led to think and see. But yeah, this is the core situation, okay? And this is why I love these readings, because Spirit is able to choose a situation to talk about. Like, Spirit definitely wanted to hone in on fulfillment, and this is your core situation here. So this could mean very many things. This could be fulfillment in a relationship. It could mean fulfillment with self, because Aries rules the house of self, and you did have a full moon. So of course, there's a full moon in your sign. Of course, anyone who would be going through a first house full moon would be thinking about things like fulfillment. And it's interesting that I say that, because if you look really close on this cup, there is a crescent moon, if you can't see, but it's right here. And there's a moon on this cup. So I'm seeing that there's some full moon fulfillment type of things, something to do with fruits in growing. There's some pomegranates here, it looks like, and they're growing on a vine. It's also a reddish color, so it's like being fulfilled within your own passions in life and feeling like, cup runneth over. It's kind of like, I'm not saying that you feel that way, Aries. I'm saying that you've been thinking about this, about what it is that you have and what it is that makes you feel fulfilled. Some of you may not even be feeling that fulfilled, and it's been something on your mind. So that's the core situation there. And I mean, fulfillment is pretty straight to the point, but I feel that there's a lot there. I feel that you guys are thinking about the cups of you, like if you were an actual cup, how full, it's the typical half full or half empty, pessimistic or optimistic kind of point of view. So, yeah, Aries, that is definitely coming to the core forefront of your reading. And then the south node of this situation is chaos. And I like to see this here because it's where you're coming from. Okay, I would be pretty frightened and a little bit concerned for you guys if this was in your north node, because I would have to warn you and say that there's a lot of chaos coming, but it's in your south node. So, tornadoes. I used to have really bad nightmares about tornadoes, like every night, or at least a lot periodically. And I looked up what it means to dream of tornadoes, and it can mean that your life is in a chaotic place. It can mean that your life is kind of spiraling out of control. And the good thing about that, this is like the Tower card, okay? This is the Tower card in regular tarot. That's what it makes me think of. And what, it's okay for things to kind of get destroyed sometimes. They have to fall apart in order to, what I kind of think about is, I've never been in a tornado situation, but I've seen it in movies and things like that. After the storm, there's rebuilding. That's when everyone can come out of hiding, and it's horrible because you see everything that's been destroyed, but you can actually start cleaning up and reorganizing things. So you're coming from a place like that, Aries. This is the south node of this fulfillment. So it's possible that there were some chaotic situations in your life and this is the south node, so it could be the past a little bit. This is kind of like the past, and this is kind of like the future. So there's a chaotic past here. Maybe there's something to do with fulfillment there, where there was people, places, and things that were kind of like this tornado, just kind of buzzing through in and out of your life, knocking your cup over of fulfillment. But you're coming from this, so you're kind of moving away. Oh, and I wanted to mention that there are fall leaves. If you can see this damn glare, but you see those leaves? There are fall leaves being kind of rustled up. So this reminds me of kind of like a chaotic transformation that's going to take place in fall. I'm very drawn to these fall leaves. Yeah, very, very beautiful though, Aries, because it's kind of like fall. Fall is Libra season, and Libra's your opposite. So there are some chaotic things that can kind of take place, but I'm very happy that you're coming from this place and kind of, moving on from that. So just know that spirit knows of the chaos in your life, Aries, or what was in your life, chaotic thoughts, chaotic feelings, and it sees that. This is spirit validating that, if there's anything worse than being in a storm, it's being in a storm alone. And I don't feel that for you, Aries. I feel that spirit literally sees the chaos. And then we have the north node of this situation. The card at the top is the High Priestess of Spirit. And that is just so amazing to me because, not spirit, sorry, High Priestess of Fire. Because you are the cardinal fire sign, Aries. And there's a 5, sorry, kind of a little crazy right now, but there is a 5 at the top of this card. And 5 is a very powerful number in spirit. So if the number 5 means anything to you guys, I know the 5th house is Leo, and Leo is a fire sign as well. So there's a lot of passion here. The High Priestess of Fire is definitely not afraid to be who she is, to be passionate, and to go after what she wants, just like an Aries would, in a fiery way. And it's about keeping those embers burning is what I'm hearing. There's so much fire in this card here. She's the High Priestess of Fire. So Aries, this is where you're coming from. So it's kind of like where there was chaos before. You're just going to passionately conquer all of it. And I love to see that this is in your north node of a situation, because you're going to come out as who you really are. This could be that full moon. This could be the moon fulfilling you to the point where you're able to walk as this high priest and high priestess of fire. This is for men and women as well. So that is very beautiful to see, Aries. And then we have differences on your side. So this is really, really cool to have on your side for this situation. So remember, this is all about fulfillment. So this is about being a fulfilled fire sign, and the chaos fulfilling itself like it's almost over. And on your side are the differences. So there could be chaotic differences around you. There's the black and the white cat. I'm not sure if you can see that. But, and then there's the orange and the apple in the bowl. So it's about polar opposites, which is interesting because it's Libra season. I keep feeling drawn to talk to you about that. When the sun is in the opposite sign of you, just like last month when it was in, well, first of all, when it's the opposite season of you, you get the full moon. So when it was Virgo season, I had a Pisces full moon. So, it's kind of like the sun and the moon, the opposites there as well. So there are differences in your life, Aries, but it's coming up in your reading that this is actually spiritually divine. So for any differences that you're aware of in your life now, just know that they're spiritually helping you grow on this journey. Even the differences about chaos, like it could be certain differences are chaotic to you, and maybe you feel different, and it has something to do with you feeling fulfilled as well. But I'm just so drawn to this High Priestess of Fire up here, because that's the North Node of this situation. So no matter what, it's going to end in a passionate way, is what I'm hearing. And then we have risk on the other end of your reading. So there's also risks. Oh my goodness, this little glare. There are actually risks on your side, Aries. And it's like, take a risk with the differences, okay? Because you have risks and differences on the sides of your reading. So it's almost as if Spirit is saying, I know that you feel a little different right now, Aries, and I know that, you feel risky that you're different, and that you maybe take a risk to be kind of different. But that full moon in Aries, it definitely, it had a lot to do with your individuality, and it had a lot to do with, I'm not sure how to hold this so you guys can see it, but there's a lady like jumping off this cliff, and this is Spirit telling you that it's okay to jump. It's definitely okay to jump off this cliff because she's protected by Spirit. And it's okay to take a leap to be different. It definitely is. And this is what's on your side. So I'm seeing that you may take a risk in a different way this month, Aries. It might have a lot to do with fulfilling your own cup or fulfilling your own self. But it's definitely some polarities happening here, like polar opposites, the dark and the light. Okay. There's a lot to do with the dark and the light here too, because I'm just drawn to this white and black cat. So definitely some light and dark going on, and that's on your side. So your light and your dark, we all have light and dark. It's on your side, and it's fulfilling. It's very fulfilling to honor your light and dark. It is a risk, but it's very fulfilling. All of these cards are kind of fulfilling. Even chaos to a certain extent can be fulfilling after I don't like secret chaos that I can feel under the surface but isn't necessarily there. So I'm happy that this is coming out in a way where it's like, it doesn't feel like secret chaos, and it actually feels like you're going to take a jump and a leap in a new way in October. And you're going to do so with complete faith, and I see the moon here in the corner of this picture. You probably can't because there's so much glare, but just work with me here, guys. As the months go on and as I do more readings, I'll definitely figure out the good ways to record and stuff. But I hope you can follow this reading here. I definitely wanted you guys to be able to see it on the table here in this kind of cross here. And then for your overall guidance, you have conclusion, Aries, which is just so, it feels straight to the point. So Spirit is overall guiding you towards a conclusion. So this chaos is going to conclude. The risks that you take that are on your side are going to conclude. Being fulfilled, your conclusion will have a lot to do with the fulfillment that you feel. You're going to understand the reasoning behind differences in your life. And then as you head towards the High Priestess of Fire, which is so awesome, it's your natural element, that's also going to create a conclusion. And what I see in this card is one of the books says, there's two books here. It says chapter 1, and then it says the end. Okay, so Aries, I'm a Pisces, and even the Aries full moon for me was very, very like transforming, and it was very completion. Like every full moon, like next month, they're going to be a Taurus full moon. And every full moon is full of light, right? It's a full moon. So every full moon means completions and new beginnings and endings. It means that there's a certain part of your life, wherever that Aries energy is. I have Aries in my third house. So there are certain ways that I communicated before that the Aries full moon completed for me. And I can feel that. Like, I feel that I am communicating differently with people, and that I'm communicating with certain people that I didn't before, things like that. So there's definitely a chapter ending in your life in October, and there's also one starting, because for every door shut, there's a door open, right? So there is definitely a conclusion. This is your overall guidance. So the risks you take, the fulfillment, the chaos, it's all going to kind of conclude where you can close that book. So don't feel like anything, especially this chaos here, don't feel like anything here is indefinite or that it's going to be forever, because I'm really drawn to this person jumping off of this hill, which is a risk she's taking. And maybe she's taking a risk to conclude a certain chapter in her life, because it really feels like it all wraps up to me. I can feel your guys' energy, that you're going to get a lot of answers that you've been waiting for this month in October, especially with the Libra energy. You have a new moon on the 19th and Venus entering Libra this month. So love and relationships, partnerships, friendships, definitely going to be something that we are dealing with, you as Aries this month. And that might be the fulfillment coming here in the middle. I feel that we're going to get some clarifiers, because, these cards can only say so much. So we're going to get some clarifiers, but as my intuition, I definitely feel that there are some new things. I mean, come on now, you have a conclusion. So what's the opposite of conclusion? An introduction, like the start of something. So yeah, Aries, it looks like a pretty good reading. But let's get some clarifiers, because oh, and definitely the underlying energy is the High Priestess of Spirit. So you have that. Oh, and you have strength right underneath that, and beauty. So you're coming from a really great place, Aries, and things are definitely going to turn around from that chaotic tornado. So let's get a verifier on. Hello, you see yourself? You showed up at the bottom. You can't really see it because these cards are glaring, but you got the Emperor here. All right, I'm glad I seen him. I love seeing him. So let's get a clarifier on the fulfillment card. Okay, Aries. So we have the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is a past and a present card. It is a soulmate card. You have the younger figure here and the older figure. So it's very much about the past and the future coming together. And, this is water sign energy, so it's like emotion. So, but, definitely when I see this card, I want you to know the first thing I think of is soulmate, and kind of like a past love coming back in, something like that. But every cup card in tarot is, Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. But it doesn't have to be a water sign. The cups could also be emotional. I mean, I see here that the cups have white flowers growing out of them. So this is things growing from the past in the future coming to kind of full circle. So this is the card validating the fulfillment in the middle. So there may be fulfillment because of a love offer, or because of your past and your future kind of coming together full circle, whereas you don't really regret your past anymore, the chaotic. And you're ready to kind of embrace this High Priestess of Fire, High Priest of Fire. So yeah, we definitely have some love here. And it doesn't have to be love. This can be siblings, because when I see this card, I just see an older figure kind of giving something to a younger figure. So that can mean many things for different Aries, but it's definitely kind of coming full circle, whatever it is. And I feel that this is coming from the past. So your past could be fulfilled. Definitely for some Aries out there, though, there is a soulmate energy that is, it could have been chaotic before, but let's go ahead and get a clarifier for that chaos card of the South Node. So let's clarify this chaos for Aries for October, please. Just one card. Okay, well, this is the Eight of Wands. So kind of a fiery energy, which is interesting, but this is about fast forward movement. So maybe things were chaotic for you, Aries, because they're moving really fast. The bottom of the deck right now is the Devil, so it could be feeling kind of bound to certain things, or like things are out of your control is what I'm hearing, because the Eight of Wands is moving really fast. So both of these cards have very fast movement, and you never want to have chaos moving fast in your life. So for some Aries out there who were feeling that way, that's why it's in your South Node, because you could very much be feeling, you could have been feeling, some of you may still be, I hope not, but this is the card that is clarifying this tornado here. So very fast movement, and with the devil here that won't let me ignore him, I'm definitely seeing that you felt like you didn't have any control over anything, and that's not good for an Aries. Aries is the first sign, and they usually feel very controlled in their life. So a lot of fast movement, and movement not good fast. Like this card can be good. It would be good if it was in the right here, right? If it was over fulfillment, but it came out with the chaos card. So it's chaos moving very fastly. So also this could mean that it was very quick. Like it wasn't like really a long period of chaos, but it happened very fast, which doesn't really change the feeling of it though, because chaos is chaos. So I see now a little bit more, Aries, as to why you might have felt that way. Chaos just moving very quickly in the same direction, which is, that tornadoes creep me out. I'm almost ready to put this card back in the deck. It just scares me. Okay, let's get a clarifier for the High Priestess of Fire. What more do you have to say to Aries? Oh, that's beautiful. The Fool card flipped over. And I'm not sure if you guys know this, but this is your card because it has a 0. And it's not a negative fool. Like, this guy is heading out on a new journey. And I'm loving that this came out, because the other day I was just kind of giving myself readings, and these two cards came out together, and they're just so similar. I know you have a hard time seeing this, but they're both at the edge of a cliff, and they're just leaping in a way in complete faith. So, we have this card here for the High Priestess of Fire. So there's definitely a new beginning starting with this, a new beginning of passion, a new beginning of, and things are going to fall apart because of that, like we have the Tower here, so that's okay. For things to begin, they need to end. And this is kind of like the tornado card. I was telling you before how these cards are very similar. We have a lot of things falling apart and destroying, but it's because, okay, I believe sometimes natural disasters happen, literally and metaphorically, so that we cannot revive it. Because some people, I don't know if you can be this way, Aries, but some people just, they're so good at fixing things, and they're so good at pretending certain things aren't wrong, that they can revive it and fix it and fix it and fix it. And the universe is like, you know what? You ain't gonna fix it no more, because this is unfixable. I'm gonna put you in a situation that is unfixable. And so that way you can actually move on from it. Because I know some people don't like to give up, and Aries, you're very strong. So, it's no really skin off your back. Like, you might handle chaos pretty well, but the universe is really urging you to go towards a new beginning now. Very much so. And there's going to be certain people. I love this little white dog here, because it symbolizes that certain people are going to be loyal along this journey with you. But I see beautiful things, Aries. I see white flowers a lot. There's white flowers in this card. There's white flowers in this card. So it's kind of like you pack up everything metaphorically or literally. Some of you actually may be packing up. And you take what's yours. The sun is shining for you, and it's time to start off on a new beginning. This is the Aries energy. You have the High Priestess of Fire, and then the Fool card right with that. So there's going to be a new beginning for you guys of passion and of fire. It's that moon. I'm telling you, it's the full moon. So let's get some clarifiers for the two things that are on Aries' side. So let's get one for differences. Is there anything that you guys would like to say about that? Okay, we got two cards that came out, and it's the Magician and the Four of Coin. So this is coming out for differences, which is kind of acceptable because there's two cats. So what I'm led to say here is that, okay, the Magician in tarot is a Mercury card, all right? So there might be differences in the way that you're thinking. And the Four of Coin is kind of like holding on to these things too much, or latching onto them in a way. So some Aries may be latching on to, someone of a Mercury. It could be a Virgo or a Gemini, latching onto them. But I see that as a very select few of Aries. Like maybe 5 Aries can relate to that. But there's a bigger message here about holding on and clinging to the way that you think, since this is a Mercury card. And also, the Magician is very distracting. So there may be like some differences that are distracting you right now, Aries, in the month of October. But more so, even, is that the Magician has all the suits. He has the swords, he has wands, he has pentacles, he has all of them. Wand, sword, pentacle, cup. That's all the elements: water, earth, air, and fire. So, there are differences between the elements, and there are just differences here. And these cards came out with a difference card. So, it's gonna be different for literally different for all Aries. But I feel like Spirit used these cards to validate this, because it's kind of like the differences in the way that people think, Aries, might be coming up for you a lot in October, and I don't really see you as handling that in a bad way. Unless this Four of Coins is talking about holding on to an old kind of way of distraction, or holding on to distractions, holding on to different distractions, or holding on to old ways of thinking. But you have a risk here that you're going to take. So I think a lot of you Aries are going to let go of old ways of thinking and possibly start thinking and being creative in a new way, holding on to less things, okay? Because we have that here, and this person is definitely not holding on to anything. She is definitely jumping her butt off, like she is ready to jump. And then we have the Fool card. So, there were just some differences here. And this is on your side also. We can't forget to mention that Spirit is saying that this is on your side. So you have the Magician. Some of you have the Magician on your side. Some of you have Mercury on your side. Mercury is going to enter Libra. It's going to enter Scorpio. So that can be interesting for you, Aries. That's your 8th house, okay? And this is the light and the dark. 8th house is very light and dark. So, try not to hold on to certain things right now. Even though Spirit may show you to hold on to some things. And that's up to you, Aries. This is definitely heeding your own intuition as well. And this could mean so much for you guys. Some of you may relate personally to the to the Magician card. So, this is on your side. You have this Magician on your side. Like, you're a jack of all trades, Aries. So, okay, that's what I'm feeling. Is that you're very different, Aries. You have a lot to go for you. Like, some people may think that you're kind of crazy, or, because you're the first house of self. So, some people like to put Aries in a box. Like, oh, well, that's an Aries. Aries is always going to be that way. Well, this month, you may really be playing around with some kind of different parts of you. The light parts of you, the dark parts of you. You might pick up a cup and be that. Maybe you can be emotional, you can be passionate, you can be, really sharp with your words, and you can be creative. You can be all of these traits. And here are those white flowers again. So there's lots of growth for you, Aries. And Spirit is saying that you need to hold on to being different. Hold on to what makes you unique, because you're all about individuality, Aries. And if you can't be yourself, then none of the other zodiac can learn how to be themselves either. So it's very important for you to be okay with being different, So we have a risk here. A risk that is on Aries' side for October. So is there anything else you would like to say for that, Spirit, about this risk that Aries is being... we had some cards try to come out. The Two of Swords, the Ace of Swords tried to come out. And now we have these two cards coming out. So let's see what these are. Okay, we have a risk with the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. That's interesting. And then we have the Nine of Wands. So, Seven of Wands. Sorry, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sometimes I always think this is the Nine of Wands for some reason. But yeah, we have the Seven of Wands here, which is talking about taking a risk, about being on top. So let's take these one by one. And that's really interesting that you have two queens. So there are some of you who are really into your feminine energy right now. I see this as a lot of different ways, Aries. This is taking a risk with finances. There's a bunny here. There's a rabbit in the corner of this picture, which is symbolic for new beginnings. So, take a risk with a new beginning of finances. So some Aries may be changing their job. I actually know a few Aries who are going through job changes right now. I keep an eye on, my Facebook, and I know this Aries guy. He quit his job and had a new job the next day. So some of you Aries may be really taking a risk with finances. You may be really taking a risk with your feminine energy, and this is not just finances and job. This can be anything of value. So it could be your relationship. It can be, how this woman is definitely looking down at this coin. And also, this is Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. So some of you may be wanting to take a risk with a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. So there is that energy. And this is on your side. So if you are trying to take a risk with your finances or anything of value, or a Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, Spirit is saying that take a risk for it, and you either win or you learn. You're not going to lose. Spirit doesn't see things that way. And then we have the Queen of Wands, okay? And we have this magical black cat here. Love when he shows up. It is Halloween time. So we have this, this is passion. The Queen of Wands is very passionate. This is a fire energy. So this is you, Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. So maybe some Aries are, maybe trying to take a risk between fire and an earth sign. Or maybe you're trying to take a risk with certain passions that you have, certain money for those passions. And I'm just seeing this here, this is verifying the risk card. So take a risk with your passion. Go ahead and jump and take that leap, because she has this beautiful sunflower here. So you're definitely going to grow from this risk, and you're going to grow spiritually from this. And I just really see this as a good thing, Aries, when this is validating the risk card. And it's on your side, so passion is on your side. Money and finances are on your side. And it's okay to take a risk when you're in such a good position like this, with this new moon, with this full moon. And you have the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. So very interesting. Some of you Aries are very, very in touch with your feminine when it comes to how you're expressing your finances and how you're expressing your passion. So very, very awesome. And then after the Queen of Wands, we have that Seven of Wands card. And this is about being on top and staying on top. This man is on top of a mountain, and he's got all these people under here. You can't see them, but they're under here just kind of jabbing up at him. And he is on his feet, ready to go. Like, there's competition for you, Aries. There are energies that are going to make you feel like this in October. It might be you. This might be people trying to keep you from feeling fulfilled, or, like it's okay to take a risk. But, and it's interesting that this is right here validating the risk, because she's kind of jumping off a cliff, and he's kind of trying to stay balanced. And that's interesting. It's Libra season, so it is about keeping your balance while people are trying to knock you off your throne. Okay, I definitely got that from Spirit, because these two people, and this is for men too, it doesn't matter, but these feminine energies are coming out for Aries this month, because you may need to handle this kind of energy in a feminine way. And that means just more so retreating inwards about it. Masculine would be confronting these energies. It would be fighting them back, and action is a very masculine word, but feminine would be more so like just remaining on your throne, boy or girl, and just kind of handling things with peace and integrity, because there are going to be people in your life this month. I'm sure they've always been around in some way or another. Areas, we all have people in our life like this, and I don't typically like energies like this, but it's going to be, and I'm led to the water here. There is water, so it may be even trying to stay on top of your emotions. It may be emotional, passionate battles that come up this month in October, but this is coming up in a position that is on your side. So just know that even these battles, even when you feel this way, it's actually Spirit trying to grow you and trying to make you feel more fulfilled. And that is all coming up as a validator for risk. So take a risk when it comes to the mountains you're climbing. Take a risk with your passions and with your finances, and take a risk with your job if you want to. I feel like this will speak to certain Aries. And sometimes I don't even know the messages that are coming out, and that they, we have a Gemini energy showing up here with the Lover's card on the bottom, and then we have the Two of Cups. So whatever that may mean to some of you guys, this is that Venus energy entering your seventh house of partnerships. So for any single Aries out there, or Aries who may be going through some tough times, maybe you don't want to be single, just know, please believe it will happen. I had it last month. Like last month, all this energy was in Virgo, which is my seventh house. Oh my God, there were just people everywhere, like just trying to hang out with me and trying to do this with me. I'm not single, so I didn't do very well with that energy. It just kind of made me feel bombarded. But it was nice to connect with certain people in the ways that I could. For you, Aries, if you are single, it might be great for you. It might just be adding to this fulfillment. And we do have a lot of soulmate love. So just hang in there, Aries, because a lot of planets are going to go into Libra, that new moon, and Venus. Venus is ruled by Libra, so that is going to be on and kicking. So let's get a conclusion for the conclusion. And it kind of just flew out. Oh, wow, that's beautiful. We have the Three of Wands here, Aries. So there's definitely some thinking. You're going to come to a conclusion, but I think first you just need to kind of separate yourself and get to a spot where you can kind of reflect and prepare for your future. This man is on top of a mountain, which is so weird. I see a lot of on topness. Like this guy's on top of a mountain, right? And then the lady who's jumping and creating a risk, she's on top of a mountain. So what that means to me, Aries, is you're just in a very high position right now. This man has climbed on the top of a mountain. It's the Three of Wands, so it's a very passionate Trinity energy. So he's definitely thinking about things. He's not facing us. He's shut everybody else out. So in order to create that conclusion at the end of this month, Aries, you may need to kind of isolate yourself and do some thinking on your own. And then we have the Empress card, okay? This is so great because this is a Venus energy. This is like Aries, because Aries is the Emperor card, and then this is the Empress. So we have a lot of love here. I know that this lady is very in tune with all her energies. She has water and earth and all of them, and that's kind of like the Magician card. So that's interesting. But we have this Empress here showing you that love is going to conclude itself. There's going to be a conclusion in love, something like that. It may be even self-love for some of you, Aries, because I know the Empress, she doesn't really need to be in a relationship to be happy. We have the Venus symbol there, if you can see that. So this is a very, very Venus card. It kind of has a Taurus vibe a little bit to it, but I just think of Aries when I see it because Aries is the Emperor and Empresses. So yeah, we have emotional stability happening in this card. She's very nurturing. She has this crown of light on her head. So she's enlightened. She's a lot like the Emperor, but just in a feminine way. So we definitely have feminine energies. And then, oh wow, we have this wheat here at the bottom, which reminds me of kind of like fall. So it's interesting that the imagery is kind of talking to you guys, Aries. But this is a bright energy. This is love coming in. So, when things conclude, they definitely begin. So there's some endings and beginnings with love here. And there's a lot for you to think about in October. And then we have the King of Wands. So we had the Queen of Wands up here. So whoa, these mugs are hot and jumping. But we have the King and the Queen of Wands here. So that is very, very amazing. So if you were a man watching this and you were kind of like, man, what's all up with these chicks? Well, here you guys are. This is an Aries energy. This is Leo. This is Sagittarius. Very fiery energy. The King of Wands is very passionate, very masculine, very powerful, very creative, And any king is just very assertive when he needs to be, and maybe not as unless you're talking about the King of Cups, which is a very emotional person, but in a king-like way. This is very emperor, very ruler, powerful energy. So this is the King of Wands coming up for you, and it's kind of like a conclusion happening with this King of Wands here. There might be a conclusion with a fire sign. It might be a conclusion with yourself, but I see love as a very passionate thing. Okay, Aries, for the women, you may attract a King of Wands for yourself. And for the men, there's so many females on this table, for you to choose from. If you're interested in an earth sign or if you're interested in a fire sign. But I see opportunity for all because the Magician's here. So there's definitely some magic happening this month for you, Aries. And it's that full moon. It's all this energy going on. And this was a pretty interesting reading. I hope you can see everything okay. I'm really working with these camera angles here, but yeah, this looks beautiful. I can't wait to get a tripod. And just before we go here, don't forget that we have this High Priestess of Spirit. You have the High Priestess of Fire, but you also have the High Priestess of Spirit. So this is the underlying energy. And then we also have Strength. And I've seen the Leo card come up a couple of times. And we have beauty under that, okay? And the High Priestess of Air. And, wow, just so many things. So many things for you, Aries, that is so powerful. And I just want you to kind of apply the High Priestess of Spirit to all these energies. Because what it means is that underneath all these energies is a spiritual purpose. So even for the chaos and the quick movement and, you know, where you're going, the High Priestess in a new beginning of fire, you know, the Magician, this soulmate energy that's going to make you feel fulfilled, you know, it's all divine. It's all because of the High Priestess of Spirit. And I just feel a very good energy from this Aries. And I hope this was relatable to you guys. You know, I definitely appreciate your guys' comments. Like, I don't really mind if you like the video or if you subscribe to me. I just really like the comments, because when certain people comment, even if it's negative or positive, I kind of, you know, I really encourage questions and things like that. So don't be shy or afraid, which I'm sure you're not, Aries. I love your guys' confidence and courage that you guys usually harness so well. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment below or message me directly on Facebook. My name's Braylon on Facebook, and I'll have my Instagram and stuff like that below if I remember. But yeah, this is your reading for October, Aries, and it looks pretty good. There's a lot going on, of course, because it's October. But just hang in there, because it's going to be Scorpio season. Scorpio is your planetary sibling. You guys are both ruled by Mars, so things will kind of lighten up, I believe, when things get out of Aries, because I felt the same way when there was all this Virgo energy. It was like, oh my god, all this like energy right across from me. And then now Aries is feeling that with Libra maybe. But just know that it'll pass, guys, and everything happens for a reason. There's so much spirituality here, and I really hope this reading was kind of clear. You know, just bear with me as I get more comfortable in this new place and I get more comfortable reading to you guys. Other than that, I really hope you have an awesome Halloween. You know, Halloween's my favorite holiday, so I'm definitely going to be trying to make some plans, get out there and get a costume, something like that. And I hope you guys have an amazing fall. It's a beautiful time to transform and kind of start some new beginnings and end some old things that no longer serve us. And we will speak again in November when it's Scorpio season and we have Jupiter moving into Scorpio, all kinds of fun things like that. So I wish you guys the best. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching my video. It means a lot to me. I'll talk to you guys soon.